excited to see you. Hey, divas, how's it going?
Good afternoon,
Cheers.
ladies.
Yeah, let's clink it up here.
Clink it up, clink.
Clink, clink.
Cheers.
All right. DU Divas Cocktail Hour is upon us. Here we
Love it.
go. This is a great day. Hey, I haven't talked to you guys in a couple of days. What's been going on? Jen?
Oh, ladies, let me tell you, I was in San Diego visiting with some of my best friends from college this past weekend, known these ladies over 20 years. And can you believe that one of my besties is not getting vaccinated? I was so upset with her. I mean, I love her to pieces. Her parents got vaccinated and she's a nurse. She's going to be a nurse educator next year. And I just lost it. Like I couldn't, lost it meaning I just heard that and I walked out. Like,
you didn't ask her kind of why or any of that, or
oh my gosh, I just totally shut down, and now I'm like so sad and anxious about it, Liz.
That is so. That's interesting, Jen. I had a situation with my daughter over the weekend where we were talking in the car, and she's like politically or something, and she goes, "Mom, kids should vote. Kids' opinions matter." And initially, my first instinct was to be like, no, what?
Right?
But right, I was like, okay, you're a kid. No, I'm not going to have you making decisions. But you know what? I realized I was doing exactly what she said we needed to shift. So I took a step back, right? I was trying to be very mindful of Eva and what she was saying. And I actually found it quite interesting and found a new perspective as far as listening to kids. And, maybe they don't have their frontal lobe yet and all the things, until they're older, but they've got some things to say, and they make up quite a bit of population. And, I give that example, Jen, only to say, I know you said you walked away, but sometimes engaging is I think a better way, and being really mindful of, the people you're around. So I know you're still sad. So just a potential solution for the future. I know I've said mindful before. Yeah, I know.
All these judgments came up for me and I just couldn't handle it. Like, did you experienced judgment in that moment, Liz?
Mm-hmm.
And I know Danette has experienced that over this past year. Yeah. It's been so controversial. Like, what do you think, Danette?
Yeah, Liz brings up that word again. So we've heard that mindfulness word a couple of times now. And it's interesting because
trying, girls.
You sneak it in all the time on us.
Yep,
as the professional of the group.
Mm-hmm.
You are definitely bringing us up and up. But yeah, Jen, it's been interesting just watching the past 2 or 3 presidential elections. This one definitely had me spun up. I wasn't sure where to go. I did a lot of research. I looked to see where others were going. I don't know if that was the best choice I've made, but I definitely did not think on my own 2 feet. So when I was having those conversations, I don't think I was necessarily mindful of what I thought was going to be good. I was getting, frustrated with everything that was going on, and I couldn't focus. There was just so much coming at you all the time, right? So, like, Liz, what are the professionals saying? Like, I'm pretty sure My People magazine that I'm getting the information from is not the best source.
Well, you guys know I preach mindfulness, right? I do it to try to, single mom, working, school. I'm a big preacher, and you guys usually block it away. But I think on both points, being mindful. And actually, Danette, you did say you did some research. So you started down being more mindful. Let me expand my brain. I think, unfortunately, when you just do what everybody else does, that right. The social folks around you, that's a little tough, right? If you're not seeing both sides of it.
Well, I did finally watch that Netflix thing, that social dilemma thingy.
That's a good one.
It actually scared me.
As it should. Yeah.
Yep. Because I was looking at those folks, and I mean, those folks ran the whole entire, media world, right? they had that whole, they had the Pinterest people, they had the Facebook people, they had the Google people. I mean, those to me were the pros. I mean, Jen, did you see that?
I did. And I felt like it was like a lot of, remember that professor that was on last week and he talked about social proof and like everyone following one another. Like I thought that Social Dilemma was like a great example of that.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. And that feeds right into what I've been trying to talk to you guys about, and what I kind of live my life in a mindful way, right? Like Jen, if you take that step back, I know it's easier to just be like, poop, I'm going to go ahead. Ignorance is bliss. Walk out of the room. I got my opinion, whatever. But if, like what I did with my daughter, Eva, if you take that step back and kind of listen, you're expanding your mind, right? You're being mindful of other people.
Okay, you keep talking about mindful. What is it though? Is there a definition, or there words that would I could associate with? Because mindfulness,
the logic.
Yeah. Fair.
Help us there.
Yep. Nope. So there's two resources I go to. Anytime I start talking about this with people, there's two places I go to. Psychology Today, which I know is not your normal, Danette. You got your People magazine, but Psychology Today, right, really talks about mindfulness being really two ingredients, right? Awareness and acceptance. It's the knowledge, the ability to really focus your attention on your inner processes and experiences. And then acceptance is that, ability to observe and accept rather than judge and avoid. So I don't know if those words are sounding familiar during our two conversations we've already had this evening. And just one more source that I really like is it's a channel called Kids Health, but they've got a topic on everyday mindfulness. And really, they just talk about the fact that you can apply mindfulness to everything. From relationships, being aware of being in the present, being curious. I think a lot of people think mindfulness is simply sitting down and taking, 10 minutes every day and staring at a wall and meditating. Right. Yeah, exactly, Jen. But it's not. It's so much more. It has so much more effects on people and your everyday life. So, I would, I made the comment, ignorant is bliss, and I apologize, Jen, I'm not trying to call you ignorant, but, I think the world gets a little too much sometimes, right? And there are absolutely times where you do have to realize that you can't bear the weight of a topic like world hunger, right? You as a person cannot solve that on your own. And so it can be overwhelming, but being mindful to acknowledge that it's there, and then to oh god, I love my dogs.
There we go.
But
there's the awareness of the dogs barking,
awareness of my dogs barking, but the acknowledging and knowing the topic, but moving on, right? Putting it in a bucket so that it's not on your shoulders. That is mindfulness, ladies. That is mindfulness. Like for you, Jen, walking away could be mindfulness, but it is something where probably you can come back to it too.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, Jen, before you get a chance to respond, our little director, behind me here, he taps on me every once in a while. He's like, we got about 2 minutes before you ladies got to wrap up to anything special you want to commit to at the end here. So what are you thinking, Jen?
I'm thinking, I think this is something that could benefit me. I mean, I love my friend and I want to hear what she has to say, and I don't want to be judgmental. Like, I love her and I love my people. Like, does this help with relationships, do you think, Liz? I mean, it sounds like it helped with Ava.
All of it. I mean, it helps really. I did, great question. There was a study I found on, I was just typing just now to give some examples. There is an American Psychological Association, and there have been tests and surveys that have proven out the benefits of mindfulness on stress, relationships. I'll just name one real quick. There was a 2010 survey or study done on military personnel. Half of them were a control group and half of them were did the meditating and the mindfulness for 8 weeks long. That result, the non-meditating military group, they actually had a decreased working memory capacity over time. And then the group that did the mindfulness, increased working memory capacity over time, as well as self-reporting of more of positive lifestyle. So it works. I mean, military is a stressed out group of people, right? So there's several other studies in that site, but that was just one that really stood out to me. So
what should we do then? Like, how would we
do mindfulness?
you know what? I honestly really encourage you guys to just try it, you and the audience. So what I can do,
But try what?
I'm going to give you some articles. I'm also going to give you, there's an app, right? There's a mindfulness
Yep.
app. It's like a muscle, ladies, right? It's a muscle. So first you got to know how to be mindful and what to do. I'm going to put the resources out there. I'll put the app out there and just really take the time to figure out and build that muscle. Once you start with 5 minutes in the morning and meditating, doing your mindfulness, and
Okay.
build from there.
All right.
Think you
All
can do
right,
that?
so
I can do it.
Jen, I mean, you know, you and I love our social media. So you think you and I could commit to
2 weeks,
I mean,
ladies. How about 2
2
weeks?
weeks.
We'll come back
Okay.
together in 2 weeks and talk about it.
Challenge
2 weeks.
accepted.
I
Yeah,
love it.
totally. And you know what?
Finally.
Cheers to this challenge. Come on. let's do
Cheers,
it.
ladies.
Yeah.
Finally, I feel
All right.
accomplished.
So we're going to wrap up this show with everybody. So one, Liz is going to get us some information out on our website. So let's remind the DUDivasCocktailHour.com. Have some fun. So make sure that you're going out to the website. You're looking at some things. Our practitioner, our professional is going to give us all that information. We're going to download our app. Jen and I are going to try it for 2 solid weeks. And then we're going to come back in 2 weeks on our show. And we're going to share with you what we hopefully have is awareness and acceptance, which equals mindfulness.
Love it.
Okay.
All right.
Finally, ladies. This is exciting.
Cheers to the group. Have a great day, everyone.
Cheers, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right. 11 minutes and 33.